Hello, good evening. This is Group 4 from LLB1 Basic Computing. I'm Desire Wineza. We're given a coursework where we're supposed to visit a health facility or a school and talk about different uses of a computer in the facilities. So we decided to visit Alan Galpin, as you can see. Alan Galpin Health Center 3 in Uganda Christian University, where we're going to talk about different ways they use their laptops or computers and how we can really work with our computers on a daily basis. Thank you.
My name is Namiomba Agatha. I'm going to discuss the types of computers. We visited Alan Galpin, and mainly we were told that we have these. Mainly they use these two types of computers. They use desktops and even laptops. Let me first define what a computer is. A computer is an electronic device that processes data into meaningful information that is useful to people. Yeah. And then we are having functions of a computer. Computers help in processing, storing, and even they help in processing and storing data. Even they help the user to simplify the work. It simplifies the user's work.
Good evening to you all. My name is Mlangira Makathi Beni, and on our visit to Alan Galpin, we got to know a lot about operating systems. I would start by defining what operating systems are. Operating systems refer to a program that is initially loaded on a computer by a boot program to manage basic application programs on the computer. There are various examples of operating systems in the current internet world. So these include Microsoft Windows, and currently at Alan Galpin, they are using Windows 7 and Windows 10. Among the many, they include Apple Mac OS, Google Android OS, Apple iOS, Linux operating system, among others. So operating systems have various functions which include memory management, there is process management, and user interface. Thank you very much.
Yes, good evening everyone. My name is Mande Ambrose Tivenkana, and I'll be taking you through the different programs that people interact with while using computers at Alan Galpin. First and foremost, what is a program? A program is a specific set of ordered operations for a computer to perform. And what are some of the programs that we have at Alan Galpin? We have the Clinic Master. A Clinic Master is a software that is it is an integrated new generation healthcare information management and medical billing software. And it's basically used in the registration when someone comes to Alan Galpin. It's the one that they use to input his information. It's also used in allocating doctors to different patients, allocating, let's say, time for checkups and prescription of medicines. Then we also have the application of Google, and this is basically used by medical personnel in carrying out research about different diseases, different medicines that have been introduced in the world today. Number 3, we have the Microsoft Word software, and this is basically a processing and document creation software, which is basically used in drafting different, let's say, timetables, drafting notices to put out to the patients. Thank you.
Good evening everyone. I'm Achol Majur, a member of Group 4. So I'm going to tell you how different facilities at Alan Galpin interact with each other using computers. So during our visit to Alan Galpin, we have noticed that once you enter Alan Galpin, you first go to the receptionist, who then enters your details into the computer. It can be your registration number or access number. Then from there, he or she sends you to the doctor's office, who later ask you what your problem is. And then she'll enter it into the computer. Then you get sent to the lab. where you get examined. Then from there, they'll send you back to the doctor's office, who later sends you to the drug shop after knowing what your problem is. And then all these coordinations, we have come to notice that all these coordinations or communications are done using computer by simply forwarding the patient's data from one person to another. It's like transmitting the data from one person to another. So they don't just go and talk to another person. Like the doctor cannot leave his or her office and then go to the lab to talk to the person who is there, but he or she can just transmit the information, the data of the patient from her computer to the other person's computer. So that's how they interact with one another. Thank you.
Good evening once again. By the names of Murebe Desire, I'm here to talk about factors to consider while buying a computer. To mention by a few, 1, you should consider RAM, the RAM of a computer. Secondly, you should consider the battery life of a computer. Thirdly, the size of the computer, plus the screen type of a computer. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Almudin Jackson, and I'm in School of Law, first year. As far as our question is concerned, we're told that if we're asked to advise the faculty on safety precautions to take when using computers, what would I tell them in 5 points? As far as our visit to Allen Gulpin is concerned, and basing on the advice on the precautions to be taken, I would advise them to have burglar-proof doors and windows. That will help them to ensure that they try to avoid what you call illegal entry into the facility, so as to access these computers. And secondly, I would talk about the regular setting of strong passwords to prevent illegal access by an unauthorized person. When we talk about unauthorized persons and setting of passwords, we are talking about how we can protect our information in these computers to avoid people who are supposed to access this information from having access to them, because we all know that cyber security is very, very important as far as our daily living is concerned with these computers, of which these computers keep our information. And the other point I will talk about is backup of information. When you have our information backed up, even if we're having an attack of a virus, this information is kept very, very safe because it has been backed up maybe in a storage device or in a very safe site whereby it cannot be easily deleted once backed up. And the other point I can talk about as far as safety precautions is concerned, I would talk about the issue of avoid the use of drinks and food near computers. We all know that when we use drinks, let me say, when drinks or liquid substances interact with what we call the computers, usually there's a very high risk of what you call electric sparks, which most times, once this interaction happens with the computers, these computers are likely to go down completely without, fail to be repaired. And the other point I'm going to talk about is that updating of softwares like Windows, antiviruses. We well know the use of the Windows. These Windows help in the normal running of a computer. When you're having updated Windows, you're going to ensure that your information is well kept in the computer. And also, when you move into the issue of using of antiviruses help in what you call the fighting of viruses in a computer. These viruses, when you attack a computer, when you have no antivirus, you are most likely to lose your information as a user. So when you have such software like antiviruses, you have high risks that our information is going to be kept as far as safety precaution is concerned. And then lastly, I would recommend the team at the facility that is our very own Allen Gulpin to ensure that they shut down the computers after use, because it is very, very important. When you shut down your computer, all your information is safe. And with this conclusion, I would like to wish you a good day.
Good evening, everyone. I am here to discuss question 7 that talks about that asks what should the facility do to ensure that integrity of information held on their computers is not compromised and that the information remains confidential. I would like to first of all define integrity as the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles. And some of the factors that they should consider to keep their information confidential is change their passwords frequently. They should check their computers frequently, like to update their data and all that. And then they should activate their software. And lastly, they should shut down their computers after use to avoid people who are not supposed to access the information to access it. That's all I have for you.
Yes, good evening once again. I'm here to give the conclusion, and in brief words, I'll say, just basing on our research, I'll give an overview of what we discussed today. That is, I'll start with what a computer is. We know that it is a device that is used to perform different functions. Then I'll give the different types of computers used. We got to know that there are desktops and laptops. Then the operating systems that they use in very many offices. There is Windows 7 and Windows 10. Then I'll also go to the different programs that people interfere with, that people interact with. That is Clinic Master, Microsoft Word Office. We have the Google search engine. Then I'll go to some of the things that are precautions, that safety precautions that these people can take. For example, securing their documents by putting passwords on their applications and different things.